Welcome to We Wine Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
And I'm Lori.
How was your week?
Good. Today was a little shitty, but the rest of the week was fine.
The rest of the week was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't feel too good all week.
No? Mm-mm. Well, you're back in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, that's
You got the Jersey funk.
Yeah, I got some Jersey
You're
funk.
back in the dirty Jersey.
In the dirty Jersey.
You know,
Yeah.
you just immediately go, dark.
Yeah,
when
go
you get
dark.
here.
Yeah. Plus the weather. You know?
Exactly.
I came from all that nice weather too.
Oh, yeah, and you were in the South, so people are nice.
Yeah, they
Now
were
you're
nice.
back up here where
The rude
if
motherfuckers.
you don't start your car, if you don't pull off right away as
right,
the
you
light
don't
turns
move your
green,
ass quick enough.
you're ready to get shanked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
How was your week?
My week was good. I took a day off in the middle of the week on Thursday, so that was nice. Went and got a massage.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Always good.
always
yeah.
good.
Got to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I have some would you rathers. Kelly, you have some would you rathers.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go ahead so we don't duplicate.
Let's go. Would you rather date someone with bad breath or bad manners?
Oh, bad breath. Not that I want to be around somebody with bad breath, but I don't want to be around anybody with bad manners.
Bad manners, yeah. I mean, both are fixable.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Both are
I'll
fixable.
pop them a mint, but don't be rude to a waitress in front of me because that's when
All right, I'm going with bad breath.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I think I do. All right.
I'll get him a tongue scraper.
There you go.
There you go. It's always Listerine.
What's that? Toothbrush with the
yeah.
water pick.
Oh,
Get
the
him a
water pick. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. Would you rather show up to a job interview with stained pants or pit stains?
Oh,
I think I'd rather go with stained pants because pit stains, you're going to have a stain and you're going to stank.
exactly. And it's just gross.
The pit stains is
Like
a
the-
twofer.
The pants could be an accident. Like,
Right.
on the way here, I
Right.
dropped whatever.
Pit stains, you're just a mess.
Yeah.
I'm just sweating and I'm gross.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going with the pants
It's
too.
nasty.
And listen, I'm
So
wearing
would you
black
please hire me?
pants, so you're not going to notice it anyway.
Exactly. That's right.
All right. Would you rather have a pet skunk that sprayed you once a month or a pet porcupine that quilled you once a month? I'd rather get quilled.
Mm-mm.
Fuck that.
That stuff hurts.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something.
Yeah, I don't wanna-
Have you ever had to deal with the stench of a skunk in your
I don't
house?
want any pets. I decline. I'm not
Well,
picking either.
Wendy,
I'm declining.
it's not like the skunk was a pet.
You just
You're
said a pet.
No, I know.
I thought you did.
No. Oh, okay, I did.
I'm sorry. This is a pet-free
All right, no,
household.
But you had to choose one. It was either a pet skunk or a pet porcupine.
No pets.
I'm taking a porcupine. I'll get
I'll get quill.
pricked because I don't want to have to wash myself with tomato juice.
That skunk smell is
yeah.
so foul.
Yeah.
My dog got it twice. It's so nasty. It's so nasty.
I know Bill's
fuck
brother,
that.
Bob, in Vermont, I think his dog got quilled, and that required the vet.
Oh.
So that's, I don't think either choice is good. Like,
No, well, of course not.
I mean,
All right. Would you rather bounce off every surface you touch or never be able to jump again? I'm
Well,
fine not jumping.
I'm fine not jumping either. What the heck do I need to jump for?
You just bounce off of every surface?
Yeah.
I just pictured Eric doing that for some reason.
I mean, that's what he does
absolutely,
anyway.
he does
I know, that's what I pictured it.
That's why you're picturing it, because it's your reality.
I'll be bouncing
And
like
then-
Tigger.
And then Joe will do it and he'll be like, all right, dude, calm down. What are you doing? You're going to break something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's mini me.
Oh, well, I told you Tess hit the nail on the head. She said, you're either yelling at Joe for acting like you or, wait, what'd she say? Oh, great. It just went right out of my head. But she hit the nail on the head.
It'll come to you later.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather shout all the time or only be able to whisper?
I'm shouting.
I feel like I'm shouting all the time anyway.
Anyway,
Exactly.
so you just
And the
go
more
with
I
it.
listen to myself on the podcast, I'm really loud.
Oh, well.
Just stick with what I know.
What do you got?
Oh, I'm yelling. What are you doing?
No, what
You're
would
yelling?
you?
I know, but
What'd
did you answer yours?
Yelling. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
yelling. I'm
All
from
right.
New Jersey.
You're pretty
Why not?
quiet.
I think we did enough. You want to save these for next
fine.
week?
Yeah, I think we
I
did
don't
enough.
care. I
think
Yeah,
we did
you're
enough.
pretty quiet though, Lori. You're not a yeller.
No, unless I yell.
Unless I yell. She's not a yeller unless
Yeah,
she
I
yells.
feel like you're not a yeller, but we don't live with you
You
either.
don't live with me.
Yeah.
No, I can.
I know you can throw down,
I've
but
done a
in
lot of
general,
yelling in
I
my
think Wendy
time.
and I are yelling in our homes
More.
daily,
Yes.
hourly.
Yes, yeah, I would say
Minute to
that.
minute.
Yes, you do yell more than me.
A lot of yelling
A lot of yelling.
But my house doesn't warrant it, so when it warrants it, you got to do it.
going on. Mine does.
Mine does too. Last night in CCD, I had 2 classes because the other teacher was sick. So I always ask the class if they've done, it's called the examination of the conscience. So they want you to ask the class like certain questions. And one of my questions is, did you do anything this week to make somebody else feel better about themselves? So this one kid, he's not in my class, but he was last night. And he's like a wise guy, but I have Joe.
Well, it's
so
that age.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
fine.
appreciate it.
I'm okay. He said, I made my mom yell this week or something like that. I said, well, that's not making her feel better about herself, obviously. And he's like, sure, she feels better when she yells at me because she does it all the time. I said, let me tell you something right now. Your mother does not enjoy yelling at you. I don't know you and I don't know your mother, but I can tell you that
Right
your
now.
mother does not enjoy yelling at you.
As I'm yelling at you right now.
Exactly.
And I'm not
Exactly.
enjoying it.
That's right.
This is not fun. Hearing yourself like this all the time.
Yeah.
What did he say when you said that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's a very nice kid. He was just trying to be funny, which, they're 7th grade. There's a lot of them in there. He's not the only one.
So,
Wait.
okay.
I saw this really funny TikTok, and it was a guy who was a teacher, and he was like, I love teaching like middle school boys.
God
And
bless
he
him.
did this whole impersonation of a middle school boy. And he was like, walking down the aisle of the classroom, like touching all the desks, banging the ceiling, doing this. Hey, teacher, you got anything to eat? You got anything to eat? What do you got to eat? Oh, I bet I could do, when I grow up, I want to be like an astronaut and a basketball player, and I could do this, and I could. It was just so funny.
I actually
and
think I've
so
seen that.
Typical.
Was he
It's
like
so
knocking
cute.
shit off the table,
Yes.
not on purpose, just because he's like
Yeah,
flailing his arms out,
all
hood
goofy.
up?
Yep, hood up.
Yeah.
It was great.
I think I've seen that.
It was
Actually,
great.
that is funny.
That is my lifetime's 3.
Yeah.
Actually 4. Because you got to count Bill.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
That's my lifetime's 4.
Oh, I meant to ask you guys this once before because my family and we always play the game in your lifetime, in the movie of your life. Who's playing you? So mine's Tiffany Ann.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen?
Thank you.
Okay.
I almost called her
Oh.
Tiffany Ann, and I'm like, that's not right. So she's playing me in my life movie. Who's playing you in your life movie?
Shit.
I think Patty always wanted Brooke Shields.
I don't see that. I mean, are you supposed to look like the person?
I mean, I guess resemble. I think she said, I don't know.
I think
and I forget who Terry
maybe
said.
Goldie Hawn. Is that fitting?
A young
that a good
Goldie
one?
Hawn, but yes. Yes,
Yeah.
that is fitting, actually.
Oh, okay.
But she has to be younger than she is now.
I don't know. Maybe Melissa McCarthy? I don't know. I have no idea.
That's a fun question, though.
It is a fun
I like
question.
It is a
that.
fun question.
It's a fun
I
question.
have no
'cause
idea.
You really got to put your thinking cap on for
Uh-huh.
that.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I
maybe you
used
come
to-
back with something different next week. Why not?
Yeah,
Okay.
That you like better.
Think about it. I put you on the spot.
Okay.
I like it.
So we are going to talk today about the greatest love story never told, the documentary.
Yes.
I thought that was it. And I also,
so fucking funny.
I also want to preface this by saying, just last week, we were sitting in this basement and we were trash talking JLO about how she was rude to the wait staff, and we know
We were.
people,
We were.
and we know people that have said that she's not kind to others.
Mhm.
And after I watched the documentary, the first thing I thought was, I get it. I get it. Like if she was throwing that vibe off, I know why she was throwing that vibe off.
Why?
Because she is a perfectionist, and she has so many balls in the air at one time, and she is laser focused. Like, I mean, I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, I was out, or the day before, with Matt. We ran into Costco to get something, and I have 10,000 things on my mind at all times. At all times.
Sure.
And I'm standing at the kiosk thing, ordering at the cafe something else for Andrew, because I already ordered the pizza, and I already did this, and I was already at the thing. And all of a sudden, Bernadette and Ron are standing next to me. Like, you didn't even hear us. We said hi, and I was like, I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Matt's like, well, I'm like, yeah, because you're doing whatever you
you're
want.
fucking thinking about butterflies and rainbows, fucker.
Yeah,
You're not doing what I'm doing.
Right. He's got fucking cotton candy in his head. That's why.
Exactly. So when that happened to me, I was like, oh my God, like, I am so busy trying to make sure I get everything done that I need to get done. I've got so much shit in my head that I'm not sometimes paying attention to my surroundings. And I feel like after watching her documentary of what has gone on in her life, I think that would explain why she's come across that way. And again, I don't think it's right to treat people poorly, but it just made a little more sense to me.
Well, this is
and we all said that we didn't want to believe that she was that person, right?
No, because I've always been a fan of
we
JLO.
didn't want to believe that.
No, I didn't know. I never wanted to believe that because, you know, she's definitely somebody I got a hard on for.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
She's absolutely beautiful.
She really is.
She's very talented.
Crazy talented.
She seems like she would be awesome to hang out with. That's
Yes.
why when you kind of found out that really wasn't what the deal was. But this is my whole estimation of JLO after watching the movie and the documentary made about the movie.
It was my assignment, and I screwed it up.
Oh, no, Lori. No, our assignment was to watch the documentary. But Lori happened to watch both, which is great.
But my assessment of her is she has always been an overachiever. She has always been.
She craves the attention.
She craves attention. But all those things stem from insecurity.
From her childhood, yeah.
And this is also what I thought was interesting. I don't necessarily think that she had that horrible of a childhood, but I think that you don't know somebody's reality in their own minds.
Right.
Like, you know.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, maybe to her, there were certain things that shaped her in a certain way that other people would look at and be like, oh, so fucking what? But everybody experiences their reality differently. So I think that she's somebody who's always had that, and I think that she's somebody who's always been striving. I think as a woman in this industry, we've talked about how horrible that is.
Yeah.
I think that she really thinks that constantly has something to prove.
Well, her big complaint when she was young was her father slept all day because he worked nights.
Okay, it's
that's
great.
what
He paid
had
the
to do.
mortgage.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he had to do.
And her ass went to private Catholic school. So,
she did?
Oh, yes, she did in the Bronx.
So then you have to, really be grateful that your father made those sacrifices. But then she called her mother a narcissist.
I almost fell over when she said that.
Because I've only ever known her to be close with her parents
mother.
and her sisters. I know she's very close with her sisters, but she called her mother a narcissist. I was like, whoa.
Well, that's kind of like monkey see, monkey do.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Maybe. Yeah.
So I think that she, started to get all this fame and fortune. And I think at one point she probably was a real bitch. And she was probably really rude. But I don't think that she ever did it from like a mean place. I think that she's always done it because she doesn't really have a great sense of self-worth. And a lot of times when that happens, that's a lot of times people throw up a bitch. It's a shield. It's a deflection.
Well, hurt people.
Yeah.
But she's also a hustler. I mean,
absolutely.
everybody says it, anybody who's worked with her, and you could see it. So probably when she gets frustrated and possibly lashes out, it's because she feels like the other person isn't, doing the best they can.
Right. And
she always does.
Right. And again, as an artistic person, you have to be very careful because you can't go so far into your own world that you lose touch with what most other people have as reality. So, sometimes there's that fine line where you just think that everybody else can see the thing that you're seeing or wanting to create, and it's just unfathomable to you that
They can't
people
see
don't
it.
see it.
Yeah. Like
So-
I'm not a creative person, so
Right.
you could explain something to me and it might, go
Right.
right.
And then you're also somebody who's working with lots of creative people. So when creative people get together, it can be great, but it can be a shit show.
Right.
So, and I think that her whole deal is, I think that she feels so lucky and blessed to finally have something that she thinks is real with Mr. Affleck.
Oh, God, let's
That-
hope
and
so.
I think that the reason why she made the movie and the documentary is because she's trying to kind of like atone.
And
She's
I-
trying
honestly,
to, but I think it's a little too late because sometimes when you burn a path like that, the path stays. So I think it might be a little too late to kind of try and jump in that game, but I don't know.
Well, I first of all, I don't think it's ever too late. I don't think it's ever too late. I think everyone deserves.
Well, yeah, I mean, she
Mm.
should definitely try, but she's a little screwed at this point because, and I don't necessarily think it's a fault of her own.
what is she trying to atone for, though?
Yeah,
I think that what she's trying to do with the whole movie and the documentary is she really wanted to prove herself that she is an artist, that she's a producer, a dancer, a singer, wardrobe. She just wanted, she had full
One
control.
project focused on
She had
her and her
full-
talents.
She had full control over all the aspects of the project.
Well,
So-
she had full control because nobody wanted to buy it.
'Cause
first.
she
well,
paid
yeah,
for it.
let's so let's get into it.
Yeah, I
Let's-
actually don't agree with that, and we'll get into it. So just so you know,
I do agree with that. I do think with all of this, she was trying to prove something. Not only what you said, but I think she's also trying to prove to everybody, like, see, I got my happily ever after, and he was the love of my life, and he was always the one.
okay, I'm just gonna let you know I have 6 pages of notes here.
Oh my God!
Oh,
What time is it?
Mia.
No,
Thank
we're
God
gonna-
she didn't watch
but-
the movie.
Oh no, we're gonna
Fucking
I'm
novel.
gonna go through it quickly.
we
all
gotta
right?
go through it.
I'm gonna go
quick.
through it quickly. So, starts out with she was married 4 times. These are just facts, right? 20 years later, this is me now. Because in 2002, she did This Is Me. That was This Is
So
Me
I-
then.
I
This
meant
Is
to
Me
look
now.
I meant to look at the album to see what songs were on it.
I did look at the album.
Oh, good.
And I
What
started
songs are on
playing
it?
it. I started playing it.
But she
I
didn't
have
listen
all
to
three.
the
I
album.
have. What does she have? 3 out? Well, she's probably got more. I think
This
I have
is
her
her
first
6th.
3.
This is like her 6th.
Yeah, I think
this
I
is
have
her
her
6th or
first
7th.
3.
This is her 6th or 7th. Okay. So Ben gave her the book with every email on the first Christmas they were back
Yes,
together.
yes,
With
yes,
every
yes.
email, every letter, everything that they had written back and forth to each other, which was her inspiration for this whole project.
That was pretty funny when he saw that it was on set.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, bro. what-
Right. Right. But listen, he understood that that's her creative process.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
she writes
there's
about
clearly nothing bad in there.
Right.
So
Right. But it's personal. And he's not caring about how many Instagram followers
listen,
he has.
right.
Because they're
call-
2 different people.
I call bullshit on that anyway, because she had to have asked him.
I agree.
You don't no. No
I
way.
agree with you.
That was a nice little piece of production, but okay.
I believed it.
Wendy always does.
I
Yeah.
believed it. I believe in
think
love.
you're right.
And I believe in love.
I
And
believe in love too.
And
Oh, yeah.
honestly, that's why I think
I
she
think-
did this, is that she wants other people to believe that there is real love out there. I really think that that's what she wanted. And to be honest with you,
I agree.
I think at the end, because now I'm jumping to the end, even though I do have 6 pages here and I'm going to go back. I think at the end, what she found out is that she loves herself. And that's
Well,
what she was missing.
That's what
Exactly.
she was
And that's what the story's about.
That's what it eventually became about.
But that's what the
Her
story's
love
about.
for herself.
Yes.
But I don't think the project started out that way. I think that's how it ended.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't think that's what inspired her to do it. Like, but I think going through the
But
process of all of her past loves,
But
then she realized,
maybe it was. Maybe she's gone through a lot of therapy, and maybe
yeah,
she got
and then
back
had
with
to
got
unpack
back with
everything.
Ben and was like, you know what? I have all this shit in my suitcase. I really want to get it out there.
Yeah.
But somehow something got lost in the interpretation.
Right.
You know, and that's when I was saying it's a little too late. I don't mean like you should never try and be a better person. I'm just saying I think that per public opinion,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, listen,
she's having a hard time because
well, that's what Jane Fonda was trying to tell her. She was
Yeah.
trying to tell her, don't do it because
do it.
you're
And-
not going to, it's not going to, you're not going to get the result that you want. You're
Right.
not going to get the validation that
Right,
you
the
want from
validation.
the fans.
Yep.
Right.
But JLo's like, that's not what I want. I want to tell this story my way. I want to put my story out there. So much so that she convinced Jane Fonda to do it.
Yeah.
And, you know, Jane Fonda was originally a no.
Yeah.
And
Jennifer Lewis was the best, though.
Jennifer Lewis was great. Keke Palmer was awesome.
Yeah.
Who else did she have? Oh, Noah. Trevor Noah.
The guy from Grownish, Aaron. I forgot to look up his name. He's so cute. He was one of the husbands. Derek Huff.
Oh my God, even Derek Huff. Like she couldn't
Post
get
Malone,
Derek.
Fat Joe.
Post-
I mean, Fat
Yes.
Joe, like he said, like they came up together. He was on her first album.
30 years.
So,
They've been
yeah,
together
yeah,
30
yeah.
years.
But she had some good talent.
so
there.
when you watch the actual movie,
Mm-hmm.
it really is. There's way too much dancing and way too much super intense choreography, and the choreography doesn't necessarily match up. I think,
All right.
because I'm just
Yeah.
so fucking
You're
smart.
Paula Abdul.
But yeah, but to me, some of the choreography didn't match up with some of the music that
So-
it was set to.
I love the factory one. I love that I saw in the documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, you liked the
The
fact
heart
I
you
fac-
loved it.
I like the
I-
whole concept of the heart factory
I
where they're
loved
working.
Everything about that. I loved everything about that.
Yeah.
I liked the concept, the whole concept of that. But like I said, to me, some of it got lost in some of the intenseness of some of the choreography and dance. Like it just
I was just going to
something
say.
something for me didn't gel there that I couldn't really appreciate. It was almost like everything was too much. Like I really wanted to like appreciate like the set and the lyrics of the song, and I found somewhere in there those dancers and the conveyors just like fucked me up that I couldn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just like a little too much of all the things.
Right.
And I loved that. That's what I loved
liked
about it. I felt like that both dances that they really
Well,
showed.
we only
was-
watched the documentary.
Right.
She's talking about the movie.
But then I went to go find the videos of those. So the rebound one, the other one where she's like tethered to the dancer and the rebound. Like
Yes, and the glass house one?
I felt the emotion.
Oh, on that one, yes.
In both of them, I felt it. Like I felt the emotion in those dances that she was trying to convey in the songs.
Well, that's
myself.
good. Then it
Like,
works.
Yeah, no,
I-
then
I
it works.
totally understood that part, and I did like the glass houses tethered one because it was just how you have those weird relationships that you're like, why am I in this relationship? But then you just keep doing it, and you're like,
And I loved
fucking
when
doing?
she said, when I thought to, or somebody said to her, what if that were your daughter?
Her
Yes.
therapist said that to her.
She was like, I'd tell her to get the fuck out.
right. So I think somewhere along the line there, she definitely had some unhealthy relationships.
Well, we know that. I
Yeah.
mean, that was the whole point, is that she did have a lot of very unhealthy relationships because she didn't love herself.
didn't love herself.
But
She-
I mean, she was
she-
with Diddy. So now we know everything, that like that. I'm sure that wasn't.
So there's a scene in the movie where she comes home and there's all these friends of hers in her kitchen. And she comes in like wearing a fur, and she comes in with this guy who's kind of like this rapper guy. And JLo's like, why are you all in my house? and they're like, well, we really need to talk to you. You really have a problem. So the rapper guy is like, I'm just going to go, babe. I'm going to go, no, stay. And he like pulls on his pants to like pull him up, and a gun falls out onto the floor.
Oh.
It was a very P. Diddy.
Yeah, we know who that's
It
about.
was a very P. Diddy moment.
Now I'm going to have to watch it.
Oh, I'm definitely going to watch the movie
Yeah,
now.
you really should, because they really do kind of go together. But why I started talking about the movie was because, you're talking about Jane Fonda and all these other people. You really need to watch the movie because those people are all signs of the Zodiac.
Zodiac, yeah.
And
Zodiac.
what they're doing is they're sitting up there. She keeps showing back and forth. They're sitting up in space, and they keep looking down at her. And they're always like, oh, if we could we're sending her the signs. If she would just follow the right signs. What is she doing now with this one? Oh, but it's interesting. And those people that played those parts, I thought did them very well.
Yeah. Do we know who picked up the movie?
Amazon.
Who bought the movie? Oh,
Amazon.
Which
Duh.
I just found out because I saw it. MGM with the Lion is now an Amazon company.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Metro Goldwyn Mayer. So and that was the other big part of this movie is that she had a deal on paper.
Yes.
A $30 million deal on paper, and it got pulled. That is unheard of.
It is unheard of, but now
There's got to be more to that.
Think about everything we've been talking about lately about Hollywood. There has to be more to that. Like,
Yeah.
did somebody not want this film to be made?
Did somebody not want that reference to P. Diddy?
Exactly. Think about everything we've been talking about. So crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
When she was in the glass house in the movie, she writes a symbol on the glass, in like a fog. And it's the zodiac sign for, I think it's a Libra or something. And whoever the love interest is comes up behind her and says, what you're looking for is not out there. And then she says, this is the sign. They say that we're aligned. So I kept looking up to see who was that sign, and I couldn't. It wasn't
Ben Affleck?
No, because this is a glass house scene where she's on in a rebound relationship, and it's not healthy.
Okay. So it was somebody prior to him.
Yeah, but I was like looking it up, trying to see who was that sign, but I didn't find it.
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Anthony was probably her longest one.
When they said that
10
she
years.
was married for 10 years, I didn't think they were married. I
Yeah.
knew that it was the longest, and they had children, and they really did seem in love. They really did, I thought. But I did not realize it was 10 years that they were married.
Well, you kind of have to look at it this way.
I mean, for Hollywood, that's like 40.
but I think this is the dynamic on that one. She has this whole thing with Ben. Her heart's broken. She was on top of the world. She thought she was the shit. Look at this guy, blah, blah, blah. That falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark Anthony and JLO are nowhere near in the same fucking lanes.
Oh.
And that being said, I think part of that relationship for her was he wanted to love her. He wanted to take care of her. He wanted to do everything for her because he hit the fucking jackpot, man. Not to say that he's ugly, but they are not
think you
in the
just
same.
did.
They are not. No, he's not ugly.
Don't look now.
No, I don't think he's ugly. But do I think he's in the same stratosphere?
She's out of his league.
Absolutely.
For sure.
But I think that was part of the. Like, I think he loved her, like, intensely.
And that, he's like the Latin king. Like, he's,
Yeah. Well, she felt comfortable.
Yeah.
He was kind of what she was familiar with, what she grew up with.
Right.
So you couple that with somebody who's, like, so adoring when you're in this shit place.
Right.
That you're, like, probably first couple years, she was like, oh, this is so nice. Like, I can just be. And then after a while, and she had kids. And then after a while, I'm sure she was like,
needed more.
Yeah, this was a Band-Aid, and the Band-Aid's starting to fall off,
right.
kind of a thing.
Right.
But do we know why they broke it off 3 days before the wedding? Like
her and Ben Affleck?
Yeah. Like, do you
think-
find that
I
out in the
think
movie?
They make
No,
it seem...
but I think he got cold feet. I think
They make it seem as if it were mutual.
Well, they said it was
definitely
mutual.
him, and her heart was broken.
absolutely.
I mean, this is why
Yes.
this movie's being made and
Yes.
all that. For
yes,
sure.
and she does say
And he
that
was
she
doing a
forgives him at the
movie.
end.
He was doing a movie with Jennifer Garner, and that's who he married. He married her, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
did marry Jennifer
Yeah.
Garner, but they were doing a movie at the same time.
I believe so. It definitely overlapped.
But because he had such an alcohol problem. Like he
I
had
mean,
a
did
bad.
he then?
I mean, I don't know if he did when he was with her, but he
I
definitely did
know.
with Jennifer Garner. He definitely had a substance abuse issue. He definitely
Yeah,
did.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Is he
I mean,
sober
it-
now? Does he say
Oh yeah,
he's
no,
sober?
he's sober.
Okay.
He's sober, but maybe it was just the wrong timing.
or maybe that was his rebound relationship, and he used alcohol to deal with the fact that he married the wrong. That he shouldn't have done it. He shouldn't have ditched. You know what I mean? Maybe he thought that, fuck, I should have married her. Like, she was it. I know she was it. I know this is just
She
a
dated Diddy
Band-Aid.
before Ben, right? Like she was married
Yes,
to
Diddy-
O'Honey. She was married to O'Honey, and then I think she dated Diddy, and then she married Chris Judd.
And then
And
Mark,
then Mark Anthony.
Anthony.
But in
But
between
was
Chris
Ben.
Judd and Mark Anthony was Ben.
Ben. But then after that, then she was with Derek
A-Rod.
Jeter.
Oh,
Oh,
A-Rod.
A-Rod.
Yeah, yeah,
A-Rod.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
A-Rod, yeah.
cheater. No, A-Rod. She was with A-Rod for a long time, and we
She
thought.
was.
I mean, by long time, probably 3 years, right? Is that a long time? I mean,
I mean, it's a high school relationship.
exactly.
I think, and this is just my thought, I think that he was the abusive one.
Ben?
No, A-Rod.
Oh.
That's
He's the manhandled one.
that would be my guess.
Hmm.
That would be my
Okay.
guess.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Who was that?
Well,
Which one
I
of
was
her-
thinking it was Diddy, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm. I
You
think
don't?
no, I don't think so. I think she was busy being, gangster partying with Diddy, and
You know that song "Love Don't Cost a Thing's" about him. And in the beginning of the video, she's like, "Yeah, I love the bracelet, but I really wanted to see you."
Right.
They're just sending her presents.
Yeah.
I love that video. That's my favorite song by her.
One of my favorite songs by her is "I'm Not Your Mama."
Oh, I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Oh, and I think that one's actually about A-Rod.
Really?
Yeah.
Was she older than him? It doesn't matter. She just probably felt like his care.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
she
not
ain't
your
your
mama.
Yeah, ain't your mama. I like
I'm Not
it.
Your Mama.
I gotta listen to that
I
one.
Ain't Your Mama. That's actually I Ain't Your Mama. Yeah. No, I love her songs. I
Yeah.
love the beat. I love the message. I'm a fan again. I mean, I was always a fan.
I know because
I was always a fan.
I mean, I believe the stories I heard about her, but here's the one story I heard about her. I'm not going to say who told, obviously who told me this, but the one person said that a family member of theirs was a poker dealer at Borgata, and her and Ben came in. And
this time or the first time?
The first time.
Okay.
And she looked super bothered the whole time. She looked all pissed off. And then he went to give them like $1,000 chip.
Oh, and she went and
I think
changed it.
He put like $2,000 chips down, and she made him take one back. Okay, so at the time it's like, oh, what a bitch! Like with all their fucking money. But here now I'm thinking about it. If he really did have an alcohol problem, he might have been wasted sitting there, and she was probably pissed off right then and there because he was fucking wasted and acting a fool. And then he starts throwing $1,000 chips out. She's probably like, whoa.
Right.
That's what I was thinking now.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the time when you first hear the story, you're like, what is she, an asshole? Like you're JLO. You got to sit there with a pout on your face and then take $1,000 back. What's $1,000 to you?
Mm-hmm.
But
It could have been.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's the whole thing. It's like,
I know you don't know.
and that's what, that's kind of what Jane Fonda was saying. And that's even what Ben was trying to tell her. Everyone was trying to tell her, like, you're going to make this movie.
And no one's gonna get it.
If they get it or they don't get it, you have to be okay with that because
Yeah.
this is your story. This is your art. This is your project.
Right.
And you're the artist here. You are financing it, you're writing it, you're singing in it, you're dancing in it. You are doing this from beginning to end. So
I think the bottom line is
that takes a lot of guts.
For sure.
But
That takes a lot of
the bottom
guts.
line is that if in the end she can be okay with that and not care what anybody fucking thinks, as long as she can look at that body of work and say, you know what, I'm fucking proud of myself. This is a damn good job I did. Then she's won.
I agree. And I think that she should feel that way, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think if anybody can get her to see it that way, it's Ben.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because he doesn't care about that kind of stuff.
No, because I think that I think it's good because
he's very grounded.
They're both at a place where I think they've both gone through a lot of therapy.
Right.
A lot of therapy.
And they have more money in the bank than they'll probably either ever know how to spend. So at this point, they're probably like, we're blessed.
Right.
You know, let's just chill.
I mean,
but that's what I'm saying about her. Like, I think that's kind of the mindset she's into now. But it's hard to have people see you as that when you've presented something else for so long.
Right.
So.
And if we know nothing, we know that the people on social media are brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of talked about this. They can take any picture and turn it into whatever story they want.
Yeah.
Like when they saw PK out with that other woman, it was his daughter from a prior marriage.
Right.
But, anything that they want to take and twist, they will take it and twist it.
And I'm going to tell you something really scary. That's what I was just going to say.
They can put a whole video together of you. Just with clips of what you've said.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even need that. They don't even need clips of what you've said in there.
They
can make a video, an avatar you that looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
I've seen AI videos where you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So pretty soon you're not even going to be able to believe what you say.
I don't anyway.
So you can't believe what you hear and you can't believe what you say anymore.
Yes. Reality TV has turned me very
Well, I'm just going to say, because you're not going to know what you're looking at, whether it's real or not.
Yeah.
So.
All right. What's in your notes?
All right. I'm going to
out of that rabbit hole.
So one of the things, like I said, Jane Fonda was trying to talk her out of it. And JLO says what she's afraid of is the album and I'm an artist. This is my album, my story, and I'm not changing it. So what she's telling Jane is like, you're afraid of the album, but this is my album. Right. I'm the artist. I'm not changing it. So don't be afraid of that.
Right.
And then she's saying, as an artist, you can't be afraid of what the critics are going to say. And it's true. You can't be.
As a person, you shouldn't
be. You can't be. Because somebody's always going to have something to say.
Especially as an artist, because it's so subjective. Like, it's so subjective. Like, you didn't like that, and I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you're her critic, not so good. But if I'm her critic, it's great.
Good. Right.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff, you can't do it. And then Beth says to her, like, why are you so stressed lately? And then she lays it out. Well, I'm the one, everything she's doing. I'm the one financing it. I'm writing it. Like, I have a lot on my plate. And then she's beating herself up because she missed his premiere. Because they were in the middle of rehearsing and he had to go to his premiere about a movie and it was so good and everyone was talking about it. She's like, well, I'm not even being a good partner now. Like, this is
Yeah.
I want to do it all.
But I mean, at least they're both in the business. He's got to understand.
Oh, yeah. But of course, you're still going to beat yourself up over it because you want to be there to support your partner like your partner's there to support you. That's just like human nature, right?
Yeah.
Whether there's critics or not. And I'm sure there was critics criticizing, oh, where's Jen?
Right.
Because Jane said, like, Ben didn't look happy when you guys were at the Grammys. Now she's just going, and this is someone who knows her. She's just going by a facial expression she saw of Ben that the media showed when he was at the Grammys.
Right.
And, like, that's how twisted it can be. And these are people that actually know you.
Right. Right.
So imagine if a total stranger who doesn't have your best interest at heart sees something, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah, they'll twist it and come up with
and
they're
make it
separated.
Turn it into dog shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I did write down what she said about she was a middle child. She felt lost. Her father, was he overworked. She felt ignored by her dad. Her mom was a narcissist, center of attention, life of the party. When she said that, I almost fell over. I'm like, is her mom still alive? Like, is she talking about her mom?
She was. I mean, I don't know if her mom's still alive, but I know I never heard that she ever had a falling out with her mother or didn't speak to her mother. Yeah,
her mother's been with her on many appearances.
I know. So when she said that, I was like, wow.
I hope she ran that by her.
You can say like somebody likes the attention and is the life of the party, but when you throw
than a
narcissist in
now
there,
you're hardcore.
like to me, that's a bad word.
Yes.
I don't ever want to be considered that.
Right.
I don't.
Any of my children ever called me a narcissist on a movie or documentary, I think I would be like mortified.
Yes.
Right.
Even if it was true.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if it was true.
Especially if it was true.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. That kind of blew me away.
But
Me
see,
too.
the problem lies in her Jenny on the Block deal. I think people
I mean, the public's perception.
Right.
The public's perception.
Right. Because they feel it's disingenuous. Because she's not, she was from the Bronx, but she was not hanging in the projects. She was not.
Right.
She was not.
And she does make herself seem I don't want to use the word victim, but she almost makes herself seem, I don't want to use the word weak either, like weaker, like timid, like introverted. That's how I got her, what she was trying, but I'm like,
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well,
this is the thing. She, in the end, is an actress. She's a performer.
Right.
And I think she plays the role of Jennifer Lopez very well. But I don't necessarily think that's who she really is.
Right.
But sometimes when you're a great actress, you're a great actress and you can play.
Right.
Well, she did say in the documentary that person was the protagonist and it wasn't her. Because then when her and Ben were sitting there talking about it, because the other husband wasn't him either, he said, but I like how you're making yourself younger.
Yeah,
even
that's great.
even in the fake story.
Right.
Right? And then Ben also goes on to say, Jen felt emotionally neglected as a child. Just because she wasn't locked in a basement and physically abused doesn't mean she doesn't have trauma.
Right. That's what I said.
Yeah,
somebody's reality is
That's what I'm saying. That, I mean, you could say it's acting, but in her mind, she has trauma.
No, when I'm saying acting, I mean that who she presents herself to be in the world is not necessarily who she really is.
Definitely not.
That's what I'm saying when I say acting. I'm saying she's acting in her own life. I feel like she's been acting as Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Well, that's what celebrities do, though.
Right.
I mean, and that's one of the things.
But that often causes an accidental crisis because you're so busy playing
at some point
who
you're
break. Supposed to be.
Yeah, at some point you're going to
break.
break.
You realize you're not being who you are.
Right. Right.
But even when like they're doing the hearts and flowers scene and they're in the factory and she's trying to leave, but she doesn't like the consistency of the mud that they're going to do, and Benny, her director, who's been with her entire career, is like, but no, gather back, and she's like, no, I'm leaving, I'm tired, I'm leaving, I'm tired, but she's still like, she does stop, and she's like, no, like she knows what she wants,
sure,
and that takes a tremendous amount of brain power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like to just know exactly how you see something
and how you want it.
And how you want it.
Because it's in your mind. But that's what I was saying before.
Right.
It's a very intense thing.
Right.
And often somebody else would just be like, it's just fucking dirt.
That's what I would do.
But, right. But if I was a forensic accountant, one number off is one number off. And to
I would never do that with numbers.
Well, see, but to the artistic,
out loud, you know what I do for a living.
But to artistic people, it's an equal.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like she knew how she wanted that to be.
But also, there is also an aspect of it, and I believe that this comes from her. She's her own worst enemy.
Definitely.
Is that I totally lost my train.
You too are your own worst enemy.
The train left the station momentarily.
Awesome.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
I'm just gonna say one word.
What?
Partaking.
Yes. Okay. So when you go ahead with the notes, it'll come.
All right, it's all right.
So and you guys can remind me of what it was I was speaking.
All right,
about,
I will.
'cause that will go also.
I won't remember.
I got it.
Okay, what?
I got notes.
She's got notes.
This is why I take
The literary
notes.
genius. Let's go.
My notes
Okay.
are right up.
Listen, I feel connected to JLo because I'm telling you right now,
Oh,
I had a vision. Not that I am JLo. No.
I
but
didn't
I'm
mean
just
that.
saying, like, I had a vision for this podcast, and I'm a little bit crazy about it. I take 6 pages of notes. I am up at midnight, like putting stuff out there and looking at stuff and learning, and like I am that crazy person.
Right.
Like that's why I'm saying I can relate.
No, I can totally relate to her.
Right. Like when you
Totally,
see
'cause
something,
she's-
you have it in your head and you can't shut it off
No,
until
you
you
can't shut
have
it
it the way you want it.
Right.
Yes. And
Like you
keep-
just
and you
can't
keep
shut it off.
thinking of it.
Even when she's doing all the dancing, she's like, oh my God, I forget I'm so much older. That is what is so amazing about her.
Yeah.
These are 22-year-olds and you are
Right.
55 or 6 or
Yeah,
7.
like she stopped it in the middle of at the one scene. She was like, "All right, stop." And I was like, "Oh shit." Like I was waiting for her to like go off on somebody else, but it was her. She started repracticing the dance.
Mhm.
Because she
'Cause
is a
she felt
perfectionist.
like she wasn't keeping up with them.
She wants it right. And
Yeah.
Well, because you have you have it in your head. You've thought about it to that minute extent that you know exactly what you want the set to look like, the colors, you know what your hair wants to be, you know
Right.
what everybody else's hair wants to be.
Right.
You know the exact dance moves that you want to do.
Right.
And you want that all to come together to be as you saw it in your head. Now, another thing about really creative people that you said you found that amazing, but you have a more childlike mind when you are a creative person. And you
Well, that explains Eric.
yes, and you frighten
it.
yourself when you look and see yourself in the mirror because you're like, fuck. Because in your mind, you are like fucking on fire in 20.
Right.
but,
Right.
but you're not.
but you're not.
Right.
I
I'm
by the
not.
way, I never get that confused and twisted.
Yeah, well, we
I'm
do.
very well aware that I am 49 years old.
We do.
So then Ben is also talking about how she's still pushing the rock up the hill.
Yes.
And that's what you do. She also said her biggest fear is that she'll fail as being a parent. And any one of us it's everyone's biggest fear. If you're a
Absolutely.
parent, that's your biggest fear.
Absolutely.
I mean, I shouldn't say that. If you're a mom, that's your biggest fear.
Right.
I don't know that fathers, and not that
No.
fathers aren't great, but
Nope,
it's just
nope,
not.
They don't have that fear. They
It's
do
just not their
have
fear.
that fear.
It's just not their fear.
Correctamundo.
They do not even think about anyone else's mental well-being besides their own. They're just not capable.
I may agree with that.
Well, there you go.
In most cases, in our cases,
Love you.
maybe not everyone's.
No, well,
And then
the
we come
vast
back.
majority.
We come to when the therapist says to her, "What if this was your daughter?" And then it was so clear to her, like, this is what I need to do. I need to do the right thing. The other thing she says that I thought was profound: don't give up and believe in yourself. And I will tell you this: last night, Andrew, I was upstairs on the landing on my computer working on the pod. He's like, "What are you doing?" Because every time I'm up there, he's like, "What are you doing working on the pod?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's asking me about my statistics and my analytics, and he's showing me I don't. We have Spotify. He goes, "Well, how are you on it?" I said, "I have no idea. I put it in Buzzsprout and Buzzsprout." He goes, "Well, you have to look at the analytics." I said, "Andrew, I don't know how to do that." And
Right.
Andrew helped me, and
Oh, nice.
I can now look at the analytics. And by the way, they're not good, but I now know how to look at them.
Okay.
And I also found in there on Spotify, which is our number 2 platform. Apple's our number 1. Spotify is our number 2. On Spotify, we can put a question or a poll for every podcast in it so that people that are
okay.
listening to it. So we're going to do that. So that's
because
we're gonna have a
to show us
lesson.
how to do something else.
We're
so
gonna
we'll
have-
to
yep,
sit.
we're gonna have a
maybe-
lesson.
maybe on Sunday at
It's
some point.
a learning
yes.
curve.
But what Andrew said to me, and I think you had asked me, maybe it wasn't even on the pod, like, who's your biggest supporter?
It wasn't on the pod, but we had
This conversation. So my biggest supporter, I said, is my mom and my sister, and of course Matthew. But I'm adding Andrew there because Andrew's always there trying to help me, and he says, "Mom,
Aw.
you're doing the right thing. You've got consistency. You got to just He goes, don't you quit. I said, Andrew, I'm not a quitter. He goes, well, maybe then after 2 years. I said, no. I will pivot. Okay, well, what's your pivot? I said, I don't know. It's not 2 years.
Right. It'll come.
But
It'll come.
I'm not quitting. And he's there telling me, just keep being consistent. You got to get something to go viral. You got to know what your analytics are. You got to play to your audience. He's the one who told me we got to drop the Housewives ones. We were dropping them too late. He was right.
Them too late.
Now we're dropping them quicker.
Yep.
I got that from Andrew.
Yep.
So
Well, way to go, Andrew.
Yep.
absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely. I don't know. Oh, don't believe in yourself and don't give up. I was like, I don't know where that came from and how I went off on that tangent.
Well, you went down that
Just
rabbit hole.
refer back to your notes.
There you
Wendy.
go. That's why I take
That's why
notes.
she keeps the notes. Meanwhile, I show up
There's
with nothing.
footnotes.
Yeah.
Well, I literally just watched it before I came here,
Okay.
so everything's fresh.
Yes,
Everything.
I have
absolutely.
to take notes on Summer House in Jersey Shore. I can wing it.
Yeah, I didn't watch them yet because I wasn't ready to take notes. I have to take notes. Okay.
Oh,
So
wait
I
until you
ended
watch
up at
Jersey
the
Shore.
end. I kind of feel bad for her.
Do you?
A little bit, yeah.
No, I feel happy for her.
Only because when I say I feel bad for her, I feel bad for her because when you look accordingly to the bad things she could have possibly done, okay? So she's acted like a bitch. She's played up being from somewhere that she's really not.
Well,
I'm just saying. I'm just listing.
okay.
I'm just listing the things
Okay.
societally that people believe about
Is that
her.
a word?
No.
Yeah, it is now. It is now. I've made up quite a few, I want you to know.
Me too. I always do.
See?
I'm so happy it was you.
Yes!
I'm like, I'm sitting here. That's
It's a word now. It is
You
a
said I
word
jumped
now.
on that.
Okay.
Fuck that
You
Urban
can see.
Dictionary.
Listen, this is why I take the notes. It's not in
Societal
the
has
notes.
to be in the title of this.
It's not in the notes.
That's all right.
How do you spell it? It will be
I'll,
the title.
I'll spell it for you. I'm a
Societally.
stellar speller, but it's,
How do you spell a non-word? That's all right.
We're gonna
That
figure
is
it
the
out.
title of this podcast.
Phonetically, that's how you do it.
Societally, phonetically.
that one she got right.
Societally.
Societally, right?
Societally. Like Sicily.
All right. Don't give up. Believe in yourself.
Yes.
All right. So, the prize for aging is wisdom.
Absolutely.
Wisdom feels good.
That's Jennifer Lewis. said that,
Jennifer
right?
Lewis
Yeah.
at the end, she said that. And I 100% agree
Absolutely.
as an old woman.
Yes. Well, my hope for her is that she can be happy with him and she's now has reached a place in her life where she feels she doesn't have to prove anything to anybody
Right.
and not give a shit when anybody thinks about her and just be happy.
I liked when she said that. I think this was like something that really happened to her. Her therapist at one point said to her, "Can't you just be alone?"
Yes.
Well, I'm
Right?
sure. I'm
Yes.
sure that these are reflections of things that came up in her.
In her therapy.
journey.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Because
journey.
you think about all her like she's definitely in love with love, and there's
Yes.
a lot of people that are out there
when
like that.
when they had that intervention in her kitchen,
That's what it was about.
yes,
Yeah.
it was and she has to. She actually ends up going to like, some like AA group for people who are addicted to love.
Yeah.
So that's one of the scenes in the
Yeah.
movie.
Oh.
That's,
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah.
That is interesting. And listen, like you said, some people can't be alone,
No, they
But you
need
have-
that affection.
but you have to love yourself before you can expect anyone else to love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought I thought her inspiration for the movie was to talk about her love story with Ben and everything, her love life, and everything that happened in between. But in the end, it turned out to be her love
Loving
story
herself.
with herself.
Yeah,
Right.
it's kind of like autobiography, not an autobiography kind
Yeah.
of thing,
Yeah,
but just a artistic interpretation
exactly.
of
Right. And that's exactly what it was, an artistic interpretation.
And it
of her
definitely
journey.
showed a softer side of her, which is very good for her because of things that have been put out
but
there.
what I was trying to say before is I feel bad for her because I feel like anything bad that she's possibly done and put out there doesn't warrant the non-acceptance.
Yeah, the punishment doesn't fit the crime.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I just feel bad that it was not taken critically well, that she's, there's a lot of JLO bashing going. Like, that's what I'm saying.
This is the world we live in, though.
But you know
with
what?
Social media. If you're a famous person, you're fucked. If people don't like you,
well,
you're going to get trashed.
Well, if you let it bother you.
Right.
I did read in Variety magazine that they gave it good reviews. They liked, they liked the story, they liked the album, they liked the way she told it, and they gave it good reviews.
I mean, it's only 80 minutes. I mean, even if you're not the biggest JLo fan, you can get through that just to see.
The movie was not as long as the documentary.
Oh, good. I'm like a 60-minute girl. Yeah. Give me 60 minutes.
I definitely think it's best to watch the movie first.
Well, we did it backwards, yeah. I mean,
we watched the documentary
backwards
first.
and halfways, but that's okay.
That's what we did.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, that's it.
half and backwards.
I'll definitely watch the movie though.
No, I definitely will too.
Yeah, you will like it. You will definitely like the movie.
Okay, did you see on this week's news that the conviction of Harvey Weinstein in New York was overturned?
Yes.
Who the fuck did that?
Because the judge said...
Yeah, I couldn't take the time to stop and really listen to it.
The judge said he didn't get a fair trial.
Basically. Yeah, basically. And
ridiculous.
And the DA said, we're going to try it again. So I guess that means it wasn't overturned with prejudice, right? Because if it's overturned with prejudice, you can't try it again.
Right.
So it was overturned without prejudice, so you can try it again.
I hope they do it again. I hope that they do. Because sometimes
he's still in jail for his other crimes.
And he's something in California, like he's...
Yes.
That's what he's still in jail for? The crimes in California.
Yes.
Oh, so these were just additional.
This was the New York crimes.
Oh, okay.
So maybe that lessens his term?
Well, that's what happens. So, but the thing is, this is what's so screwed about, you should know this, about our justice system. Well, you don't do criminal law, but when you get all these sentences, they don't stack them on top of each other. Mm-mm. They put them concurrently instead of consecutively.
Plus, they give you,
time for good behavior, early release,
served, from the day you're retained.
Right. So you could have 20 counts and be sentenced to 10 lives, and it's just one life.
Right.
Yep. Or you could have 20 counts and be sentenced to 10 years for each count. It's 10 years. It's 10 years.
And it's never the full term.
It's never the 10 years.
I mean, unless you're really...
unless it's the death penalty and you're in one of those states and you've exhausted every possible appeal 25 years later after we've paid for you,
right.
then it's, then it's the death penalty. But where does that even happen? I mean, that doesn't happen. And not that I'm saying I'm for the death penalty, but whatever. The system is broken.
The system is extremely broken in every branches.
Yes.
In every sections.
Yes.
Yep. It's all busted up.
All
it's broken.
Busted up. So we wish you well, JLo, because we really do.
Yeah, we do.
We really did always really want to hang out with you because we were always like, wow.
I still want to hang out with you, JLo.
She seems like she would be so
you know
nice.
What? She's got a boat.
Oh. Look, JLo, you can be fucking rude to the servers. We'll still hang out with you on your boat.
I'll go to the bathroom if you got to be rude to the servers. Yeah.
She's not going to be rude to the servers.
We're acting as if we're really getting invited onto JLo's boat.
Very invested. Excuse me.
I love our delusion. We are so committed to our delusion.
All right, you want to hear something funny? So the reason that even got me to this is that I was listening to the Giggly Squad, which is Hannah Berner and Paige DeSorbo.
Yeah.
And Hannah was telling how she interviewed JLo and it wasn't out yet. Well, I saw a TikTok of her interviewing JLo and they're standing up together. I don't know where she's interviewing her. They're in some kind of boutique and and she talked about this on the thing, but then when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. So she is talking to JLo and Hannah Berner says something to her. And she says, JLo says, oh, a G-string. And Hannah's like, well, I wear granny panties because I have a big butt like you and I don't like it to be all jiggly.
I love it.
Hannah Berner says that to Jennifer Lopez.
And how did she act? I'd laugh.
Jennifer Lopez says, well, we all have our thing. Like, okay, that's your thing. Like, she was fine with it.
Right.
Yeah,
I
like
didn't
I don't. It's not insulting
It's
or
not-
anything,
it's
I
just-
think
right?
that's funny as hell. You
yeah,
know
me
why?
too.
Because I wear the granny panties too.
Me
Well,
too.
I think we need to go see Hannah Berner because she's a comedian and she is funny and she's going to be in AC.
Oh, all right.
And
I'll
we're
go
gonna
to-
tell her,
I'll go
we're
see
gonna
her
tell
in
her we
AC.
wear granny panties too.
Well, I don't wear granny panties. You can tell her you wear granny panties.
I like a good cotton brief.
I like a granny panty. I'm with you. On
I
that.
like a little support.
My daughter just ordered a corset, but it's like it's new, but it's based off the old kind of
What does she need
40s
that
design.
for?
Oh
Or is
my
it just
God, it's
for
so
like
funny. It's
she's
so
not
funny.
using that to?
No,
Oh,
just
okay.
because
It's a design thing.
Got it.
it's like if there's something like an old lady would wear,
Yeah.
It's an art project.
my kid's gonna have it. It's
Got
great.
it. That's
How did I
cute.
get on no corset?
Listen,
Is anybody now?
Wait, I don't have notes about this.
No,
I
no,
can't
no,
wait
it's
to hear
backwards.
this one back.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think we better wrap it up.
We
Yeah,
might
we're
wanna
ready
wrap
for
it up.
night-night?
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. All right. Oh, it was Weinstein, the justice system. Listen, I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
I want to be more positive with these. I don't want to do. We did two pity chronicles.
Pity parties? Two ditties?
We did two pippies.
No, I understand what you're saying. But
Like they
but
were
I think-
dark. I don't want to do. I don't want to
No,
do
I
too
think this
dark.
one was good. I mean, this was
Yes,
positive. We're happy for
yes.
her. Like it showed her in a better light. I thought.
Yes.
So this one was positive.
I want to do more happy and laughing
do
and
it.
positive ones. I don't want to do all this darkness that's going on.
No, let's talk about Bon Jovi next.
Okay.
Well,
unless
listen,
it's dark.
there's some, but
Oh,
there's
that's not good. Well,
It could be.
Richie's.
there's nothing wrong though with occasionally. You know, it's very important that people start thinking about these things. We have to decide what kind of world we want to live in. What? No, I'm serious. I'm serious. You see who I have to work with, people? You see?
Now you get philosophical.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my!
I can't.
Fucking
It's
gummy
too much.
Mine's
and my
empty
drinks
too.
over there.
Mine too. All right, enough of this.
Okay.
Thank you for
I'm
listening.
thirsty.
Thank you for watching and listening to
I have
Rewind
cheese.
Whenever. I'm Wendy.
I'm Kelly.
Who are you?
I'm Lori and I have cheese.
Until next time.